So welcome back to another episode of Mandy and Carlton and the I.C.F new build. Now, down in Devon, the build is really cracking on. So let's go over to Mandy and see what's been happening recently.
Saturday the 8th of August, and this morning Aaron arrived and took down all the scaffolding around the house. So finally the scaffolding's down and we can see the house properly in its entirety. This is the front. Carl's finished off all the cladding, and now that the scaffold's down you can see the new Dura blocks down at the bottom on the ground floor elevation there. The other thing that happened last week is that the plasterers started work inside, and they've made a really good job of getting on with the skimming of the walls and ceilings downstairs. And then through the back here we've got all the doors and windows open now that the scaffolding's gone. We can open them up fully. And Carl's sorting out some lead trays along the back of the patio doors there. But as you can see, we had our glass balustrade installed. So it's frameless glass supplied by WM Ironwork, who are a local company, and they've made a fantastic job of that. They fabricated the steel that is attached to the balcony, and then there's a channel on top of that, and the frameless glass sits in the channel. And we've been assured they will withstand whatever the weather throws at them. Really pleased that we went with frameless glass, because now when you look in from inside with the patio doors closed or open, you don't have those metal bollards with bits of glass attached and all the other bits that go with it. So you get an uninterrupted view straight out over the balcony. It's Saturday the 15th of August, and this week the plasterers have been in upstairs and they have finished plastering the main area up here. Up in the ceiling, Paul's put mesh in that apex of the ceiling so that hopefully we won't get any cracking down through there. Downstairs most of the rooms are virtually completely dry, and up here it's not doing too bad either. They did this ceiling in one day, 3 of them here on the scaffold towers that we had in, and literally they started in the morning and they had to go right through to get it all finished in one hit. And also last week, Carl, Aidan and Martin were back on site, and they have finished cladding out the underside of the roof on the balcony, and that's the same cladding as we've got on the outside of the building, so that comes right round. Sorry about the light in here. That comes right round from the outside and into the balcony, and then the green bit of new Dura wall that you can see there will be rendered white. Also, the guys have put down the framework for the deck that's going to go on the balcony. That sits on top of the EPDM. We had to have the EPDM down before the patio doors could go in, because that laps underneath those patio doors and underneath the lead trays that the patio doors sit on. It meant that if we hadn't got it done, we would have had to call a halt to everything going on in here, because we wouldn't have been able to plaster, we wouldn't have been able to get the doors in, and the site would have ground to a halt. We had the front door fitted, which I'll take you down and show you, but it's all covered up so you can't really see it. There you go, that's the front door, and the grand reveal will take place when all the work in here is finished. Of week 33. This week it seems like we've taken a step backwards outside, because it's all been dug up and it's a muddy mess again. But that's because we've had trenches dug for all the services, so basically they've dug right across the main road to access a lead pipe from our connection and replace all of that for us. We've had to remove or move a lot of soil so that it's not so steep, so that when Carl puts in the retaining product for the gravel, which we're going to have on the surface, it's not too steep and we don't have too much of a rollover for the vehicles coming in. Over on this side we've got a couple of trenches where we've put in land drains because we get a problem with the water coming in and sitting in this corner. So inside, all of the plastering is now finished. I'll take you down the side of the house and show you a bit of the inside. Paul and Sean finished in here. They had the rest of the downstairs hall to do, so that's all done, and they've finished upstairs as well. It's Sunday 30th of August, bank holiday weekend, and we have a white house, inside at least. Richard the painter came in last week and he sprayed a mist coat on all the walls and ceilings upstairs and down, and he did another coat too, so that's a mist coat plus one that he's done right through the house. So that's made an incredible difference to the space, and looking really good. He used a crown paint because it's a nice white matte finish on the walls, not the sort of yellowy tinge that you can get with some of the paints, which, although they say they're white, when they go on the walls they end up having that sort of creamy yellowy tinge to them, which we didn't want. The circle on the floor that you can see down there, that's where the gas fire will be going. That's coming up from Kerno fires at the beginning of October, so we're just templating the floor where it's going to go so that we can work out what sort of hearth we want there. And Jeff, the electrician from SureSafe, was in last week as well, and he's cut out some more of the downlights, and he's actually started fitting them, or fitting the boxes for the downlights. You can see where the black cables are dropped down there, so that's ready for the downlights to be fitted in. So outside, no more mud and boulders, so that was all levelled off and fabricked, and now we've got a nice compacted surface out here which is clean again, thank goodness. You may have seen a picture from earlier in the week where we had gale force winds earlier in the week and our portaloo blew over. Been finishing off tidying up some bits, putting airtight foam around the front door. There are a few gaps around that, and just sort of doing odds and ends around the place ready for next week.